Hello everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining J2 Comics and Cards, another video. Today I want to start off with highlighting a particular comic book. This is Fantastic Four 86. This is one of the Doom covers. So you have Doom there, the Fantastic Four. This is issue 86. You can see the Fantastic Four crew there. This book is in pretty decent condition. Has a couple of creases on the side. Staples are there though. Staples are there. Let's open the book and take a look at the inside of the book and see what we have. So today's video, we're gonna really be talking about budget. And as you know, in hobby, how do you budget and make sure you have that money to buy those big books, or if you're collecting sports cards, to be able to buy the cards that you really like, or you're trying to add to your collection or fill a particular run. And so sometimes there's a lot out there to choose from at all different price points. And so when you're in the hobby, it's always good to know, like, have an idea of what you're chasing. And so I'm only starting with the cover because I think this is a cool Fantastic Four issue, and I thought this would be something cool to start the video with. But the topic of the video is really what are some ways we can buy the books we want, buy the books we need for our collection, or sport cards we're trying to add to our collection, and still stay within budget, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about for the majority of the video. But I want to get back to this book. I wanted to kind of highlight it today as one of the books that we look at. We're going to get a little closer so you can see the spine, and it's in good condition. I'll show you the centerfold. So here's the inside of the book. So this would be off-white pages. You can see the centerfold. The staples are there. Color is still great. No fading, but the back cover is intact, right? No major issues or damage to the cover. Pretty decent book. All right. So that's Fantastic Four. This is a nice Doom cover. Something that I have picked this up from one of the local hobby shops, and just wanted to show it off. Good way to start a video. Here's another good Fantastic Four. This is the world's greatest comic magazine, and it's got your Doom on the front. So getting back to our topic of budget, I recommend a couple of tips. Decide what it is you're going after for your collection. So if it's a big book, in the hobby, we call it a whale book. So a whale book is a holy grail. It's a book that's going to cost you maybe a couple $100, depending on what it is. Could cost you a couple $1,000. But being prepared to make that purchase could take you some time, depending on your budget and where you are in the hobby. I would recommend that you, as always, do some homework and decide, what are you going after? That should be your first question. Tip number one, what are you going after? Is it a holy grail? Is it completing a run? Is it, like, have a purpose of, like, what it is you're going after if you're planning to spend a lot of money on it. So that way it kind of helps you with your decision making, and you never have buyer's remorse. So I've heard on some videos they recommend, well, maybe consider not buying the smaller books or buying books every week, and save that money and add it up to, get to where you're trying to go for your, creating a budget so you can buy that one big book. Well, I mean, that's a good strategy. That might work, but you know how it is. You go into a hobby shop, you go into a comic book store, and instantly you see something that, oh, that would look great in the collection. Oh, I don't have that issue, or I'm trying to complete that run. So take those things into consideration when you're purchasing your books, right? So I'm an example. I go into a hobby shop or comic book store, and I'm a kid in the candy shop. I want to buy everything I see, but at the end of the day, I know that I realistically I should be going after certain things. Either I have an Avengers run that I'm trying to complete. There's a couple of big books in the run that I would like to add, whether it be raw or graded. I still want to be able to have, value to that particular run and to that collection. So that goes to tip number 2, like buy something of value if it's for your personal collection. If it's for resale, just decide on, are you spending the money that you're able to make back? So you don't want to spend more for resale and then you're not able to recoup your money back. Nor do you want to buy something and you get it back home and you're like, man, why did I drop money on this book and I can't do anything with it. The resale value is not the same amount that I paid for. So those are some factors you want to consider when you're purchasing your book. Another tip would be strategic on like how often you buy and what you're trying to buy. So what that means is find out from your comic book shop online, and then I'm going to show you this catalog called Preview. Like, see if you can find out what's coming up that will help you plan ahead. So the Preview catalog, this comes out once a month, and with this you're able to kind of plan ahead. You can see what's coming out a month ahead. Now with this book, you're planning ahead because you would have to order from your comic book shop. They can put the order in for you. Some comic book shop can put the order in for you, or you can go directly to the Preview's website, and if you have an account, you can do pre-orders. So one way to help you with your budget is to pre-order. I always do that. I have a number of comic book shops that I support. I go to their websites, I put my pre-order in, and then I purchase my books through pre-order. So that also, reduces the urge to buy everything when I do go into the hobby shop, comic shop. I'm not wanting to buy everything because I've already pre-ordered, especially those exclusives and those variants. So sometimes if you're trying to get like a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50. Or it's an exclusive where there's only certain stores have it. Those are hard to find. So if you're budgeting for that, and you want a 1 in 100, and every comic book shop is not going to get that book. So you need to know those shops that will more than likely have 1 or 2 copies, and do your make sure that you're either pre-ordering it or you're contacting that shop and saying, hey, I'm coming through. I want to purchase that book. If it's one of your indie publishing companies, like the smaller publishing shops, they advertise a lot of their books in the Preview catalog. So if you don't pick up the Preview catalog, you can look. They have them online. You can look at the digital version online, or you can go into your comic book shop and purchase it there. But you can find a lot of great things in this catalog. I'm going to do another video on just the catalog and some things that you can find. But that could be another way to help you with your budget. So I hope this video has been helpful. Just want to come on real quick and drop some tips on helping you plan and budget for the books that you really want. I've been there. I know what it's like to go into a comic book shop, and it's like going into a rabbit hole, and you come out the store with more than what you anticipated, because you just, your eyes got big and you think that everything would look great in your collection. But when it really comes down to really buying those big books that you want for your collection, those whale books, the Grails, really be strategic on your spending and making sure that you have the funds available so that when that big book arrives, that opportunity to buy it arrives, you'll be ready. Hope this video has been helpful. Please like the video if it's been helpful. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, I would ask that you subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later.